Okay, and ready, action.
All right. Then I went to after college. I went to work for Chrysler Corporation and ended up in Detroit.
Okay.
And so I worked for a while in Detroit, and then met my lovely wife, Loretta.
I'm glad. Okay, yes. And how did you meet her?
And she worked at Chrysler,
Oh, really?
and we weren't supposed to. I was an auditor at the time,
And you audited her?
where I wasn't supposed to date anybody from the corporation,
Uh-huh.
but they didn't know that.
Well, that worked out pretty good then.
Right, everything turned out
Then
well.
what was she doing? Well, I guess she can tell us from her, but you could. What it was
Loretta, she was
for Chrysler?
she was in the parts division, and she worked in payroll at in the office.
Nice. And this was in Warren?
This
I
is
started
in
in
Warren.
Marysville and then moved to Centerline.
Okay.
The parts division moved from Marysville to Centerline.
So after you got married, did you leave Chrysler?
Not until I was pregnant.
Oh,
Are
okay.
you on to me now?
not that. Well, I guess we are. This is a sidetrack.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, where do you want me to start?
Just when we're gonna. Technically, we're gonna give you a whole thing, but I was just gonna ask you when you quit Chrysler.
Okay, I was due with my first baby in the latter half of February, and at that time we were required to leave. I think it was 5 months pregnant.
Uh-huh.
And I asked my boss, I said, I'm feeling very well. Can't I continue working? And he said, well, you could have if you hadn't told everybody what you were expecting. So I had to leave in October, and Kevin was born in February.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But I never went back.
And never went back.
There was no intention
Right.
of going back. And
Right.
when I was ready to go back, after the kids were mostly raised, or pretty well raised, Chrysler wasn't hiring. They were in dire straits.
Uh-huh.
And I wouldn't have gotten any benefit from the time I had worked, I don't think, although I had had a little over 10 years in.
Oh, I didn't realize you worked that long. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna give you a whole shot here. We want to hear that story about you growing up on the farm and stuff.
Okay.
But I want to come back to George. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. That was good. That was good. So. All right, George. Sorry to throw you off there. So now you're in Warren. So.
We were
Oh,
we lived in Warren,
Okay.
and that was in 1957.
57. All right.
And then I was transferred to, and let me see, in 60, I think, to Georgia.
Okay.
Atlanta. So then we were down in Georgia, and Loretta was with child at the time, and we had already, Sharon was already born, and Kevin was already born,
so was Kathy.
and Kathy.
Okay. So who was that? That's Brian was born in Atlanta.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Good.
So then I was down there for a while, and then they said, now we're going to transfer you back to Detroit.
Okay.
So they transferred me back to
And
Detroit.
you've been here ever since.
Right.
In this house.
Correct.
And when did you move in this house?
In 60, wasn't it?
63.
63.
63.
Now you built this house, or did you buy it from a builder, or how did that work?
They were building all these houses. And
Okay, and you picked this one out.
Looked at the model, picked the lot, picked the house.
Very good. So 1963, so that would
and
make
so
it
we've been here ever since.
47 years ago. So is the house paid for?
House and
Long
boat.
time.
A long time. So you got a pretty good deal on it, huh?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here we the house was let me see, and we had to pay 20,000 for the house,
Not bad.
and now we're saying now more recently before the houses declined in value, they were selling for 200,000.
Wow.
Over 200,000.
Not a bad deal, huh?
So we don't. If we were to sell for hardly anything, we just get our money back. That's it.
Not bad. So just like you, all your kids are all athletic too, right? Is that
Yeah.
they all did sports?
Yeah. Brian, he was played football, and Kevin, he played basketball, and Sharon, she was a softball. She played softball. Kathy played softball. Megan, she was a runner.
I thought she played softball.
Yeah,
Later
too.
on.
Oh,
Yeah, too.
oh, a pitcher. Oh, man, did she have a swift pitch.
And Robin.
And Robin.
And Robin was a good athlete.
Yeah, Robin, she came along.
Yeah, she came along. Okay, and so you coached a lot of them.
Oh, and then we had, there was a team of boys, and let me see, it was 13 and under league, and so I coached them, built them up, and then we were city champions.
Nice. Now, who was on the team from your family?
Nobody really.
Oh, this is just guys you
Yeah,
coached.
tell that story. How
Oh,
that came to be.
Did the kids recruited you?
Well, there was a fellow that lived behind here. He came, well, here to start, there was a boy in the neighborhood, because we had a basket on the garage, and we make lots of noise, so from all the noise, and they came over, and so we got to know one another quite well, so they knew that we knew something about basketball.
Yeah.
So then these boys got together and said, "We want you to coach us."
Wow.
So I said, "Well," I said, "I was never asked before," but I said, "Yeah," I said, "I'd be happy to coach you." Well, no sooner than I said that, apparently then they went to this other coach who didn't know anything about coaching, and he had coached them the prior year,
Yeah.
and he said I couldn't sign them up. They were signed as players for him.
Yeah.
And I said, well, listen, I said, those boys, they came to me and asked me to coach them. I didn't go to them, and so I didn't want to turn them down. I'm not going to turn them down, so I'm going to coach them. So we did. I coached them, and we got a gym on Friday nights, and we played, and we won the city title, championship, and we were playing against this guy's team that was complaining, and at halftime the score was 50, or at the end of the game it was 50-2. I said we didn't give it to them.
So
Well, because I knew what I was doing. So
yeah, yeah. Okay. So you
and the players were good, and so we did well.
the rest they say is history.